Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Okay, ready? 2, and watch the leg.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that's complete to Gates. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Ready up. 2. Go. All day, dog. Hey, watch it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
We play to win. Let's go. At their own 20-yard line.
Come on, set. 15 on it. Me and you all day. I'm coming set.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Forced out to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Out of the gun, it's Young. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
I'm here all day.
On second and 2, Young. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to make it third down and 10.
Go out. 15, 9, 69. 2.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Hernandez. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
That's trash. That's trash. Check nickel, nickel. Hard. Nice.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a second and 13. Second and 13. He's going deep for Brown. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. To throw is Young. Going to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Two seconds to go, first quarter.
Hey, stand up.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 6-0 our score after one.
Let's get it. Let's go. 70, Indy.
Watch that in. Watch that in. Got it right.
Second and long. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons.
Good job.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Kill.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, Michael.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Let's go now. Man. Tank Tusa.
Bandit. He's crashing. He's checking.
Hey, Echo. He's driven.
They'll look to throw here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Looking to throw, Young. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Let's go.
3rd and long for Young. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Now back to throw. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
SOS. Hatchet. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Watch out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 9 now. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A 9-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On second down now, it's Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
At the 40-yard line.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
He's going to launch this thing. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's a gain of 34.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z, right? They'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further.
What you got, Heavy? Give me something. Give me something. Check your hot read.
Young. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on first and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at third and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down.
Here we go. Shoot! Rock it. He's coming, though. Hey, lock it. Pick it down.
They'll drop the throw. He sets to fire deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 19. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn it.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Let's go now. Not a wolf. 45. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They'll run with Taylor. Room here to run. The 30. 10. 5. It's a big play there for Atlanta. Give him 69 yards on the ground. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
Here we go. 7 innings. It's 59. Mike, the 59. Let's pick it up. It's out of time. Got it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal at the Saints' 8-yard line.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Young off the bootleg. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From 8 yards out. And the Falcons push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And to give this time to the tailback. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Back to throw, and he will find his man on the outside. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Watch the shift. Hey, switch gears.
Now they'll run it on the toss.
You ain't going nowhere.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give them a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Come on, set. 15 on it. 15 on it. Hey, let's get that ball, dude. Let's get that ball right here.
On 1st and 10, Young. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
Come on here. Come get some.
On 1st down, Taylor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Ready, set, check, let's go. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Now on 2nd and 13, Young. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? ball gets tipped in the air.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point right down the middle, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A pretty big opening there on first down. 8 yards up to the 33. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
At the 33-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Fair. Switch. Ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd down.
Let's go now. 90 Wolf. That's 2. Pick me up. Here we go. Check. Crunch. Bravo.
He'll look to throw. Finds his target. It's Gates. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the...
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys... Get the football back.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Following the interception, Young. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Young now. Over the middle, complete. It's Parks. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
It's Young on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Young. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Throwing, Young. Wide open receiver, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. And an alley to run. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Young. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After 1st and 2nd down went backwards, it's 3rd and very long. Here's Young from the shotgun. And he's going to go down again.
This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more? Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
132 fighter. Choose the mic. Tighten up. Look at me. Go. Undercrush.
2nd and 15. He's going to fire one deep open. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Set. 60-yard. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Young looks to throw on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Now here's Young. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Yeah, Sanders now to return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10.
Let's go.
Taylor. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. And Young's going to throw it here. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. They'll try and run it here. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Rock it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. They'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Here we go. 30 base.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Atlanta, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal. Yeah, say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Story's treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? How about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch and skirt the lot. Go ahead, tell me how about it? How about it? Rep for your bro, for your poster, popping your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat for the streets, you can do it. Ain't built for the weekend. Sweet, this sugar. One man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods, damn it out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family. I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Hit first off the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal. Yeah, say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the fly the field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, it's to get rich or dead trying. This ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead.